Hey guys, Guy here, and the time for a new World of Warcraft patch is almost upon us. It will release this following Wednesday, March 12th, and I thought I'd give you guys a little overview of what's going to be there, along with my opinion on some of that stuff. Uh, Blizzard has released the Handy Survival Guide, but I will go over each feature that is going to be released and how handy and good I think they are. So stick around for a bit of both informative and opinion piece along this video. Now, the first thing a lot of people are excited for is the release of two new, more allied races, being the Zendalite trolls and the Coltiran humans. The Zendalite trolls are more, let's say, standing upright, which is something that people have wanted for their troll characters for a while. It has a lot of class combinations that people already were expecting, but as well as Zendalari paladins, which is something that people would want for have been wanting for a while, playing a troll paladin because Light of the Loa and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it seems pretty interesting. The aesthetics are nice of the class itself. Their passives though, the regenerate passive has been quite the target of a bit of controversy because it seems to be quite overpowered for the fact that you can massively heal yourself in combat over just a couple of seconds. And even if it does get interrupted, it still heals you for quite a bit on that first initial tick. So both for PvP and for PvE, it has the potential to be a bit disruptive, but we will see how that plays out and if it gets balanced over time. The requirements are not crazy. You just need to complete storyline, the war campaign, and the achievement Tides of Vengeance, and as well as reach the Exalted Zendalari Empire, which most of us have by now if we have been playing it for that while. And just like the other allied races, it will have an heritage mount and armor, which are the ones that you can see here in this picture. Now, for the Coltiran humans, same story. They're a bit of a stockier, burlier sort of human. It will also have its own steed, as you can see, and a little naval-inspired outfit for a transmog. As far as the racial goes, it's not as game breaking as the Zandalari racials might be, although it does some interesting things like heal for a portion of the damage you take, as well as a passive increase in all professions for those of us that like to do stuff with our professions. The requirements are the same as the Zandalari, except mirrored. You need to do the Alliance campaign instead of the Horde campaign, obviously. You do not need to do any raid content to unlock them, which is good for those of us that don't raid. And yeah, let's see how it comes off. They will be available immediately when the patch hits, so this next Wednesday. You do not need to clear the raid or anything of the sort. You don't need to wait for another patch to unlock them. They will be available from the get-go this next Wednesday, so that is pretty nice to hear. Another feature making its return is the Brawlers Guild. Now, the Brawlers Guild, for those of you who are not familiar with, is a sort of a solo challenge. There's this arena in Stormwind for the Alliance, and I am actually not quite sure where it is for the Horde. Oh, I do know where it is for the Horde. It's in Ogrimmar. Um, you do need an invitation to get in, but those are really easy to get, so you might as well not need one. But what it is, it's basically single player fights. I wouldn't call them boss fights, more like challenge fights. It's strong opponents that you have to defeat, and they have specific tactics that you need to do, and they are usually very creative and nothing like anything else that you encounter in the game. It has the difficulty increases. It has several stages that you go through, and the higher you go, the harder it gets. Usually has some transmogs or mounts and shirts and stuff as reward, as well as achievements, and obviously the bragging rights of being able to say I have completed the Brawlers Guild, yada yada yada. I'm not actually sure what the rewards will be this time. I have not looked into it yet. I'll see if they are in this announcement post. But it is something that, as a solo player, it's quite entertaining to do. The rewards are usually okay, and just the uniqueness of the fight and the challenge makes it worth it. If you're like way over geared, as in raid gear, heroic slash mythic raid gear, or high mythic plus gear, the first few tiers are a walk in the park, but it does get trickier from then on. So it is always quite a challenge to do, and I have actually been looking forward to the Brawlers Guild making its way back into the game, because the new version was not in ever since the expansion. As you can see, these are new brawlers that are in, so the old brawlers will still be there, and there will be new ones added on top of it, such as these three. As you can see, there are at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new brawlers, so that's nice. There are new rewards, as you can see here. Let us see if there is anything interesting. There is a random brawl mode. You don't even know what you're gonna fight. There are group fights where everyone gets queued, gets teleported at the same time, and they all have to fight the enemies together. Uh, those are the rumble modes, as you can see. All players in the queue get queued to participate in the fight. And yeah, there is a lot of stuff. There is, as you can see, 2 different pets, as well as gear and transmogrification. There's a ring, there's a tabard, gem cutter module mastery. This is might be useful for jewel crafters, as well as heirloom claws. Those are agility fists, I believe, and ensemble brawler's garb, which I'm guessing it is a complete transmogrification for brawler's theme. Now, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to the challenge. We'll see how difficult it is this time. Another interesting thing making its way into the game is something that we haven't really had in WoW so far, which are profession-specific items, unique, that will give you some sort of benefit for having that profession. Now, we've had it in the past in the form of special enchants and embroideries and whatever that only that profession could get, but that was basically a flat stat boost, which, while useful, was not exactly exciting. This time around, each profession is going to get something specific and unique that is very characteristic of that profession. This time around, for example, I'll get you through the examples. For alchemy, you can, let's see, you can interact with cauldrons, which will transmute the sphere, which is the item, into another object that can be used. There is a list of what actually can be gotten down the line. I will go through it later if it's here. If not, I will look for it something else and give you a list. In any case, for blacksmithing, you can, when you craft something, you have a chance it will be indestructible or not lose durability over time, so you don't have to repair it and spend gold on it. And you can also repair one piece of your gear for free once an hour, so that will save you some gold. So it's not crazy, but it's something. It's interesting. It's better than not having it for sure. For enchanters, you can get extra stuff on this enchanting, always good, free gold, free money, as well as consume 1 veiled crystal to animate an inert golem, and I'm guessing it will follow you around and fight for you. So for someone that's well geared, I don't see the benefit because you're probably destroying everything as it is. But the extra resources, quite handy. I would definitely craft this on my enchanter, which is my main character. Engineering can craft uber constructs. Uh, you can summon one every to assist you for 20 seconds every 15 minutes. So it's a bit of a cooldown kind of thing to give you a little boost. And you have different types of constructs. You have an improved target dummy, boom bots, and a sentry mark X 8.0. So yeah, I'll have to actually check what they do individually. I'm guessing this does some AoE damage, and this is probably a Guardian type that will fight for you. But like I said, I'll have to see that. I don't really do PTR, to be honest. I'm just letting you know what is out there and what is exciting and what's going to happen. For inscription, as you can see, siphons the blood of the dead, restoring your own blood in the process. Quite handy, as well as blood contracts, blood guard, bloodshed, oblivion, sacrifice. Those are things you can craft with several uses. How useful they will be remains to be seen. All these things include, like, such as this, such as the pet and the golem. I could tell you exactly what they do, but number tuning is what is really going to make or break these things. So depending on what the number tuning is, how much damage they do, how much healing they do, all that sort of thing. That is what is going to determine if they're going to be useful or not. So you're better off really seeing for yourself what is best in game in your case, or if it is worth it at all. For jewel crafting, I apologize. Jewel crafting, you can basically focus the light from the zone through the lens to create a geode of gems, and then using the focus you extract a gem that is one of your socketed items. So normally, when you have no use for an item or you want to replace a gem for a different gem, the old gem gets destroyed. With this, what this means is that you can literally keep recycling old gems from one piece of gear to the next piece of gear without having to lose those pieces, those gems. So that this will also save you some money in the long run, and as well as probably free raw gems. It's what I'm getting from here is that you are probably going to be able to get free gems from finding those nodes of light and focusing your lens. Leatherworking will basically give you a personal bloodlust. Not terribly exciting, to be honest. You can already craft drums, which are not expensive, and get your own personal bloodlust. But the use for this, I am guessing, is because this only gives you the buff, not all your hate group. So if you want to have your own bloodlust at a certain point in time different than your hate, you could do that as long as you use it earlier and you don't have the exhausted debuff. So it does have some use, but otherwise not the most useful, because when the raid uses it, it's usually when you want to use it. So yeah, there's that. Uh, on the synchronous thread for tailoring, which is the last one for the list, you can find more cloth and you can mend tears in the fabric of time. What that actually is, I am not completely sure. I will check it out when the patch goes live on my tailor, but uh, it is very vague and they don't really explain it here either. So I will check that out when the patch goes live. Those are the highlights, but there's also other things. There's something that is probably very interesting for those of us that raid, which is a new raid that will be coming, Crucible of Storms. It's a two-boss raid tier, so it's not a massive raid tier, which is good because most people are still busy with what's it called again? Battle for the Zal. Yeah, that's how it's called again. With a troll raid. Most people are still busy with that, either on heroic or mythic or normal or whatever it is, and the raid has not been out for a long period of time, so it's good that this is a two boss tier. People can just go clear it and then go back to their other progression on the other raid or the other way around. And it will be open on normal and heroic on the 16th of April, and mythic and raid finder will start opening on the 23rd of April. So it's not immediately as the patch hits, but very shortly after, a couple of weeks. Actually, no, more like a month, and then it will open. But it's fine. People are still busy with the previous raid, so it's not a horrible thing. There'll also be a new epic battleground. It is Winter Grasp. Now, Winter Grasp has been a battleground, but it has been removed for a little bit because of it being a bit non-standard with its 40 people battleground format. But it will be available as a brawl now, so it means it will be rotating. Sometimes it will be there, sometimes it won't, but it will be in the rotation. So you can have the chance to now every now and again play Winter Grasp with its massive epic 40 versus 40 battles, as well as other classic battlegrounds that have been updated with some new graphics. Arathi Basin and Warsong Guilds, they have shiny new graphics that you might like if you are a PvP fan, as well as another new brawl in Arathi Basin against AI opponents, which might not be as exciting as normal PvP, but we'll see how that plays out. There's also going to be new chapters on the war campaign, new quest lines to follow. It's also interesting to see how the story goes, and as well as new war campaign mounts, which is why I got confused and said mounts. People who complete the war campaign on Alliance and Horde character, will earn a new achievement which will give them a mount, which is the Bloodfang Charger for the Horde and the Ironclad Frostwolf for the Alliance. So you will get both mounts. One is usable by Alliance, another by the Horde, but you will get both mounts. You also need to have completed the other storyline related achievements for Alliance and Horde, so the story campaign basically, to earn this mount. It's a nice idea that we haven't seen before, rewarding people for playing both sides, but yeah, it takes a bit more work, but I do like the idea and I will be definitely going for it. For hunters in particular, Hati is coming back. Now, that's not necessarily good news because we all remember the memes from the Legion of Hati being a little bit ridiculously stupid, let's say. And yeah, but it's not that bad. It's more of you can tame Hati as a normal hunter pet. You're not gonna get Hati as a second pet like you did in Legion. You're just gonna get it as your pet, replacing a pet that you have now. Just a tame basically. So it's not horrible. It does have some options to change how it looks and its color and that sort of thing. And it's more of a story campaign for hunters to get back something that some people liked, even though the actual gameplay of it was kind of horrid. But Hati was nice, and we're getting Hati back. Our poor little Hati that died in it. But now he's back. Something that is not as happy is the removal of portals from the game. There will be new portal rooms in the Stormwind Mage Tower and at the front gates of Orgrimmar. This is intended to mitigate the portals previously being spread throughout the entire city. Now they'll be in one location, they'll be consolidated there, but several portals have been removed, such as the portals to Caverns of Time, and some other, let's say, not less used, but less main, not, non-main city portals. A lot of them have been removed. That's not necessarily great. There's been a lot of criticism, and I agree with that criticism. The world has become very big. There are many things to do. People want to farm their mounts and pets and transmogs from older raids and other dungeons, and it takes a long time to fly around. Those portals are very handy. They led to places where you could not easily go by without having to spend several minutes flying there. So Blizzard wants to keep the world big and to keep people spending time in the game, and but having them just mindlessly flying, I'm not sure if it's the best way to do that, as opposed to actually providing meaningful content. That's just artificially making you spend more time for basically nothing when you could be doing actual playing instead of watching your character fly for 10 minutes. So cannot say I'm very happy about that, and a lot of people also aren't, but it's Blizzard. What are you going to do about it? Not like they take feedback very seriously most of the time. On a slightly better note, there is a new Raiding with Leeches achievement to collect the pets from Mist of Pandaria raids. There is quite a number of pets, and upon getting them all, you get a pet called Happiness, which is equally as evil as it is adorable. So we'll see about that. I'll be hunting for that one as well myself. And there is, last but not the least, there is a quest to get a new mechanical parrot, Feathers. It's available for both factions, and who doesn't want a mechanical parrot in the pirate-themed expansion, huh? Now, hope you guys are excited for the patch. I certainly am, and I will be seeing it the next Wednesday with you guys. So, Attic PC guy out.